Hey, I'm Shane Rice, manager for inbound marketing, and here with Hanif Smith-Watson. And we're just going to do a short pairing session where he's going to go through and add a canonical path to a page. And we're just working through the local MR process so that Hanif can begin to develop the website locally. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Hanif. And if you'll share your screen, we'll get started.
Okay, brilliant. Can you see my screen now?
I can, yes.
Okay, awesome. Let's begin.
All right, great. So let's see. What is another? Let's go to a free trial. I don't think we have a free a canonical on free trial. Let's check and see.
Okay.
And I did pull an updated list. I don't think I've updated the file, imported that into the file that you're working out of. So I'll try to get that done today.
Okay, no problem. So free trial index.html.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
All right, great. So we got the description, cool. Title's good. Actually, in the title, let's free trial. I feel like we need something more there. I mean, I think GitLab free trial will just be fine, right? Like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So GitLab free trial. When this is on the website, does it show GitLab free trial then a pipe GitLab?
yeah, it adds the pipe.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, it's gonna have GitLab free trial pipe GitLab.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it doesn't have it. Yeah, that's fine.
Trial.
All right, cool. Then let's go right below description, or go to the end of the description and let's add a line. And then we'll add the canonical path there.
Underscore path.
That's right. And then, oh, sorry, you need a colon after the end of path. Yep.
See free dash trial.
Yeah, you'll need the opening and closing slash on there as well. All right, great. And then before we save, let's go down to the terminal window. And let's check Git status. All right, great. So we're on master. Master's up to date. So let's go ahead and go back to the window with the free trial file. And then you can Command S to save. You can see there's a dot up there, and the dot goes away. So that's a great way to kind of visually see if you're working on a file you need to make saves, or you need to save before you do anything else. All right, so let's go back down to the terminal. So now we need to create a new branch. And that command is git checkout and then space -b space, and then you can do your username dash free trial dash canonical.
And enter.
That's right. Yep. And so if the branch already exists, you just git checkout, and then the yeah, you have to use your arrow keys for navigation there. You can do git checkout and then just the branch name. But that -b is a flag that create, or I don't know if flag's the right term, but it creates a new branch for you. So we're on the new branch now. So do git status.
Sorry?
That's fine. All right, great. So now you have, shows you the modified file. So we want to add that file, stage it basically. So that's git add and then space dot. That's the wildcard to add all the files with changes. And then enter. All right, great. Now we're going to commit that. So git space commit and then space -m. So we're adding a message to the commit. And then parentheses. And then whatever we want to say about the change we're making. It has to be short, so it can't be, like a, it's got to be shorter than a tweet.
Then enter.
Yep.
Okay.
Great. So one file change, one insertion, exactly what we want. So now we're going to push this up to gitlab.com. So that's git space push space origin and then space, and now we need the branch name. So yeah. Then enter.
Then enter.
Yep. And so if you have a typo when you do that push origin, it's going to create the branch for that typo. And so it can create problems if you need to make a local update later. It's not going to be a problem for this one. If there were a typo, there's not. So what I normally try to do is copy and paste the branch name just to make sure it matches what I have here and what I have on the origin, on the remote.
Okay.
There's also, I'll send you some links to, so with Je, or however you say it, I don't really know how you say the terminal tool that is native to Mac now. There are some plugins you can use that add things to the command line. So for example, in mine, I can see my branch every time I'm on the command line, the branch name is right there if I'm using Git. So I don't have to look anywhere else. It's just right there in the terminal. And that's if I have terminal open or I'm using VS Code. So I'll send you a link to that on what I use, but there's other options too. That just kind of helps visualize those changes in the terminal. All right, great. So everything's done locally. Now we need to go to gitlab.com. So if you'll, in the terminal window, if you'll go to that line where it says to create a new merge request for this visit, and it has that link.
Okay.
Yep. So you command and then click.
Open. Okay, I'll bring the screen over here. Oops. And then update this.
Actually, yeah, leave that in. Oh. And then if you can leave the checklist, but if you just take out why is this change being made? No, you can leave that headline in, but the section there with the provide a detailed answer, you can remove that.
Okay.
And then just write about why this change is being made. So not what, but why. So, adding a canonical link to the free trial to make sure this is the page that Google treats as authoritative, or whatever you want to say there. Just something in that vein, something that is about, it's about why we're making the change and not just what.
So I've gone blank. I can go in and change this, right?
Yeah, you can always edit it.
Okay. Hopefully that makes sense.
And then scroll down. Yeah, that's great. And then assign that to me. So, and then you can hit submit. Oh, great. So, real quick, while your browser window's open, I noticed that you have Grammarly. There was actually a discussion about this in the handbook, and I think the conclusion is that we shouldn't be running that plugin in our browser because it's logging everything we type in the browser. And so, not that Grammarly does anything wrong with it, but it's just the fact that it's logging every keystroke could be problematic. So, we can run it. There's an app that you can run, and it's fine to run your text through that, but having it, logging every keystroke is in the handbook something we're not supposed to do. So just something to be aware of as you're looking at that. And I'm saying it on the recording just so that if anybody sees this and they're using Grammarly, they will they can reference that in the handbook too.
Okay, no problem. I'll resolve that as soon as we finish all.
Yeah, no worries. I know you will. And then so now the plugins are running now. So if you click on commits, I say plugins, I meant pipelines. So if you click on that commit, like just canonical added to free trial page, if you click on that, so now you can see what you've added, right? And this is helpful because now you can see, if you are adding changes you didn't expect. Like, so yesterday, whenever we did this, we accidentally took out the S on the beginning of that suppress header. And when we did that, I was able to catch it in the changes and then update it so that those changes didn't get merged to master and it didn't change the layout or look or feel of that page. So you just always kind of want to check here to make sure that, any changes you're making are what you expect, and that the before you merge it, you're not going to have any kind of impact on the page. So there's nothing visual here, because it's just updating that canonical path that just gets added to the metadata for the page. So as long as that's the only change we see, I don't even go to the review app. But if you're like changing text or, adding an element, then we always want to review the app, and you have to wait for the pipelines to finish to do that, to go and visually check it to make sure everything is performing like you expect.
Okay, and how do you see the pros of the pipelines tab?
So yeah, you can see it in pipelines if you click on that. So you can see what's running, and then you can also, if you go back to overview, the first tab, that's just kind of a quick spot to see what's happening there, the merge result pipeline. So if you click on the green checkbox, that shows you everything that's passed already. And then if you move to the blue circles, either one of those, you click on that, it'll show you what's running. And then if for some reason it fails, like click into any one of these. So you can see that it's running through this process actively, and you can check it here. But if it fails, what you'll have here is you'll have a log that you can look at and say, okay, why did it fail? So, I don't have a lot of debugging skills for these pipelines, but what I tend to do is just look for, do a command F, look for error, right? Like, where does it say error? And then based on that, is it in my files and in another file? What can I do to fix it? And so that's kind of, some basic debugging that I try to do when a pipeline fails. But now it's running perfectly. Go ahead.
Is it highlighted red when there's an error?
Yeah, it highlights it in red when there's an error. But these files, when they're done, can be hundreds of lines long. So you can definitely scan through it with a scroll, but it's also If it's too large, you want to, probably do that Command F to search through the page.
And if I click here, does it bring me back to the merge request?
No, what that's going to take you to is your branch. If you click on that pound 53834 above that, there you go. That'll take you to your merge request. So anytime you see that, pound, that's a merge request. I'm sorry, not pound, bang, that exclamation point.
Awesome.
And so at this point, you can, let that run, and then I will follow up on the merge request. Do you have any other questions about the process or about, merge request or Git or anything like that?
No questions so far.
Great. All right, well, I'm going to stop the recording.